Hello, kids. Welcome to the Big Idea Experience. We're so thrilled to have these kids in our studio audience today. We're talking about the big idea of courage. And kids, I got my friend here today, Mr. Artie. Can you say, hello, Artie? Come on out, Artie.
Hey, Mr. Dan, are the kids here?
They are.
Oh, man, you guys are in for a treat. This is going to be great because, Mr. Dan,
yes,
when it comes to this month's big idea, I am going to be the world's best example of the big idea.
You do?
Yeah. Did you tell the kids what the big idea is?
Well, we were going to go do that right now. Do you want to go over it with them?
Yeah, sure. Let's
They're
do
all
it.
ready to say it right back to you.
Okay, let's do it, Mr. Dan. You want to lead us in it?
Sure.
It's courage.
Say courage.
Courage.
Being brave enough.
Being brave enough.
To do what you should do.
To do what you should do.
Even if you're afraid.
Even if you're afraid.
Beautiful job. That's what we're talking about, Artie.
Wait a second, Mr. Dan, I think you messed up the definition.
Why is that?
I mean, obviously, Mr. Dan isn't as good as a big idea as I am.
What do you mean?
Well, you just said it's being brave enough to do what you should, even if you're afraid. That's not courage, Mr. Dan. I have courage because I am afraid of nothing.
Okay,
and
Artie,
to prove it, I have decided to pick up a new job. Do you know what it is, Mr. Dan?
I can't wait to hear it.
It's not washing your socks, although that would be being afraid of nothing.
All right, you're funny.
Anyways, no, I'm going to be a stunt double, Mr. Dan, for the circus. And that's why I'm really excited to let all of you kids know, and those of you watching online, that I'm going to shoot myself out of a cannon.
Oh, no, Artie.
Bring out the circus cannon, everybody.
Artie, I don't think you should do that.
Mr. Dan,
your helmet's not even on correctly, Artie.
Let's raise the cannon into position.
No.
Okay,
Artie,
there it is. Now, Mr. Dan, you might want to back up. And
No.
children, don't attempt this at home.
Hey.
And of course, don't
do you
let
mind
Peter
if I
know.
fix your helmet?
Yeah, sure, I guess. Okay, here we go.
Let me put it on nice and tight for you.
Okay, load the cannon into position.
No, Artie, don't
Let's
do that.
count it down, studio audience.
Okay.
Are you ready? Count it down with me from
5,
4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go!
Artie, where did you go? Artie. Artie. Are you all right, Artie?
I'm okay.
Are
Maybe not. Oh, boy.
Oh, my God.
I landed on my spleen.
We might have to call the vet for Artie.
1 day later.
We took Artie to the vet. He looks a little different.
Oh, whew. Mr. Dan,
Yes.
who knew that cannons would just shoot you out so quickly?
Yeah, who knew? I told
Why
you.
didn't you tell me that, Mr. Dan?
I tried to, but you didn't want to listen to me.
At least I had courage.
Well-
Be brave enough to not be scared of anything. That's the definition,
no-
kids. Repeat it after
No,
me.
no, Artie. That is not the definition of courage.
What do you mean?
We went over it at the beginning. Courage is not just not being afraid.
Well, I'm having trouble remembering the definition.
Well, let's
Turns
go-
out I hit my head on impact. Good thing you put my helmet on tighter.
Yeah, well, let's go over it again. It says being brave enough
Being brave enough
to do what you should do,
to do what you should do,
even though you're afraid.
even when you're afraid.
So you
So-
kind of messed it up a little.
But wait, Mr. Dan, I don't understand. How can you have courage and be afraid at the same time?
Well, it's just like, I remember when I was in 3rd grade, I was very shy as a kid. In fact, I almost got held back because I was so shy I wouldn't talk to anybody.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
Well,
and
you
in
talk to kids all the time now.
I know. Now I talk to thousands and thousands of them.
Wow.
But back then, I didn't want to talk to anybody. And the assignment was in 3rd grade to read a 5-line poem in front of class.
That was what you had to do?
Yeah, and I was
And you were
terrified.
afraid?
Oh, I was terrified.
So
I
what
didn't-
happened, Mr. Dan?
Well, the teacher came and said, Danny, you can do this. You can have courage. Even though you're afraid, you can go up there and read these 5 lines. You can do that. And guess what?
What?
I was number 6. I think there was 30 in our class, and
Yeah.
I was number 6. I had to do the number 6 position. I went
Uh-huh.
up there, and I read it. Now, I didn't read it perfectly. I made one mistake. I mispronounced a word.
Yeah.
But I did it.
You
and
still
that
did it?
And that took a lot of courage. I was afraid still, but I did what I needed to do. I obeyed my teacher. I fulfilled this assignment. I had courage, and I did it.
So wait, you're saying that these kids in the audience or kids watching online can be courageous even if they're afraid of things?
Absolutely.
Oh, wow. Like what, Mr. Dan? How could they practice courage?
Well, maybe it's at school and there's a new kid sitting at a lunch table and you're a
Yeah.
little afraid to go talk to him.
Oh, sometimes I'm afraid to talk to new people.
Yeah, but you're going to have enough courage because you realize that it's going to make a big difference in their lives. Even though you might be afraid, it's going to be a benefit to them, and so you go ahead and do it.
So you're saying that even though you might be afraid of something, you can practice courage by still doing what you know you should do, by making a smart decision.
Yes, I mean, Franklin Roosevelt put it this way. He said, courage is not the absence of fear, but rather the assessment that something else is more important than fear.
So you're saying for the kids watching online and those in our audience,
Yes.
if they want to maximize their potential, it's realizing that making the smart decision and treating others right is more important than being scared to not do those things.
Exactly.
Gotcha. Well, Mr. Dan, I'm glad that I can practice courage, and I'm super glad that I don't need a cannon to do it. Can we return that cannon? Because it was a pretty expensive purchase on your credit card.
What, Artie?
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Yes, we'll have to return it. Thanks for being here. Everybody say bye, Artie.
Bye, guys. We'll see you later.
Well, thanks for joining us today on the Big Idea Experience. You guys are amazing. Make sure you check out our website. And thank you for joining us as we talked about courage today. We'll see you next month. Bye-bye.